Hello, grown-ups. It's Miss Hernandez. I wanted to do a quick video to kind of explain the this new math thing that we have going on now. It looks a little unusual. I have the Spanish one right here. Oh, one second. Let me flip this around. Okay, so it shows us here the 20 take away 9 equals 11, or 20 minus 9 equals 11. So basically, the way that we were showing the kids this, and this is the explanation that we have, is that whenever we have 20, so this line right here means 10. The straight lines mean 10. And then they put the other one in a 10, but as in like there's 5 ones right here and then another 5 ones. And essentially what they were saying is that you can't take 9 out of 0 ones. So you had to break that 10 first. And then we take out the 9 ones. And then that leaves you with 110 and 111. I'm sorry, 110 and 1 1. Sorry, it's been a long day. So, and then that gives you the answer. So this would be one way to show it. The other thing that they were showing us was number bonds. So if I move on to even doing the same exact problem, I can do 20 minus 9. And then essentially, once again, it's saying that you can't take 9 out of that 0. So we break it into a number bond. That's what this is called, as a number bond. And it just basically means that these two numbers are going to add together to equal this number. I want to take it out of 10 to make it easy on myself. So always I do this, and then of course the other one would be 10, because taking 10 out of 20 is 10. And then we would look at right here, the 10, you're taking that 9 out of just the 10 now, just like we did here. And then that leaves me with 1, just like it did here. And then now I still need to add this 10 and this 1 together, which is going to give me 11. So it still came up with the same answer. But these are just two different ways to show the same exact thing. We're used to, or I'm used to, I'm older, so whenever I was in school, we were taught the standard algorithm, which is, sorry, I'm just going to use my hand. Of course, where you line it up over the top. Now, some things that we've noticed with a lot of the kids is they have a hard time lining it up with the 10s and the 1s. So they tend to do it this way, and then, of course, they're going to get the wrong answer. So by lining it up like this, they still should see that you can't take 9 from 0. And it's honestly the same exact thing. We just took it out of the 10s here, and we left our 10 here, and then we put the extra 10 here. That leaves us with 1 and 1 left, right? So it does the same exact thing. They're just all different ways of doing it. They're all different strategies. So the key is not necessarily to use a specific strategy, but to use a strategy that works for your child and that they're successful with. We want them to be able to do that. And we also want them to understand that they can't take that 9 out of that 0 and it still be a 20, because we also see that a lot. And that's the biggest thing with the standard algorithm too, or another thing that we see with the standard algorithm is that they'll leave the 2 there. And so instead of getting 11, they get 21. And that's obviously the incorrect answer. So that would be the reason why we're trying to show them that you can't, like if I had the 20, if I had 21, so you can also use manipulatives. These are manipulatives, things that you can actually hold. If your child is struggling a lot with it, I would go with manipulatives. Go ahead and, you don't have to get like these exact things. You can get like little beans or anything like that and have them actually physically touch it. So these are in groups of 10. They're called linking cubes. And so if I put that there, I say, okay, I have 20, and now I want to take away 9. It's really easy for me just to do that, and then I have 1 left over. And some of the kids are still needing this. Once they graduate from this stage, they're ready for the pictures, which was these things. That's the pictures that we would draw, or they might need to actually draw like actual pictures like this to get the full 20. It just depends on your child. So after they've mastered those, then we want to get them into the number bonds. So like the next one was 30 minus 7. And it once again, I could just take it out of there, but if I want to make it easier on myself, I can just take that 7 out of a 10 instead of the full 30. So if I did it that way, then that leaves me 20 left over here, and then 3 here, and then now I have 23 because 20 plus 3 equals 23. And so that's, like I said, one way to solve it. And this is the most abstract way for them to see it. Any of the strategies they use, we do want to see some kind of work, because I have a lot of kids right now that they get to this point and they're doing beautiful, and then they get to this point, but they forget to add in this extra, these extra ones right here. Or if it was like, let's say it was 35, take away 7. And I know that I can't take 7 out of 5. So I'm going to have to break a 10 there to be able to do that. So you can do that by putting the 10 here, and then that leaves me 25 left here. Oops, sorry, 25. And then if I take the 3 out of that 10, or I'm sorry, the 7 out of that 10 leaves me 3. And then I still have the 25. But I do have a lot of kids that once we get to this step, they might do a 20 instead of a 25 because they're not used to having to add or keep this 5 in there. So that's something to practice right there. That's something we can help them practice with. Or they might do the 25 and write the answer as 25 instead of adding in that extra 3. They need to remember to put that 3 back in. So when they show their work, I can see, oh, they forgot to add in that 3, or oh, they didn't put in the 5 from up here. They just left it as a 20. And that can help me and help you see where they need that extra support and that extra help. Okay. If you ever have because these math things are like totally bonkers sometimes. So it took me a little while to figure out why they wanted to do that, but it's basically just so they can show them that they can't take the 7 from a 5, like, and so they have to break the 10. But once again, these are just strategies, and your child is able to choose the strategy that works best for them. As long as we're showing our work, then I can see where I can help them. And that's how the best way you can support your child at home as well. And if you ever come across anything that you don't understand or seems crazy, trust me, I understand. These are not like the typical way that we used to do them. So absolutely shoot me a message. I am more than happy to help.